going to let you know the number one thing that masculine energy provider type men crave when it comes to marriage. This is going to completely change the game for you.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to go deep today. We've had some good conversations, and we just want to share and help you ladies understand because this could be the difference between attracting that man that you desire and not attracting him.
100%. And for those of you that are new here, what's up? I'm Natasha. I was a former single mom with 4 little kids, met my amazing husband, now married to Coach B.
Yeah.
He's scrolling.
So I'm Coach B, former lifelong
Yeah.
bachelor, 40 plus years of being a bachelor,
Yeah.
and married my beautiful wife. And we definitely want to share with you kind of our experiences and what we've learned even within our marriage.
Yes, and those of you that are new here, I do specialize in the area of inner healing, feminine energy, nervous system, and hormone re-regulating.
Mm.
And this directly affects a woman's dating life and marriage life. And we got receipts up to date. Up to date, we've had over 1,000 women go through our programs, our dating and marriage programs, our hormone and weight loss programs, our inner healing nervous system re-regulating programs. And of course, we're all about the feminine energy, ladies. Okay. So today's going to be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to jump right in and get started because this information is definitely what the ladies need.
Okay. So let's tell them what happened today.
Oh,
We,
definitely.
we're not making this up. This is fresh, hot off the
Yes.
press, ladies. Okay. So we have an event coming up, and one of the bachelors, a very eligible bachelor, came and visited us today.
Yeah.
We interviewed him, and we got to vet these guys before they get to meet our ladies. And this man is a provider man.
Mm.
He understands our values. He's ready to get married. He's ready to fully provide. He's a great guy.
Yes.
And no kids. African American. How old is he?
Probably early 40s.
Early 40s. Okay. No kids. And yeah, he's ready to get married. And then so I asked him, I was like, okay, what is the biggest thing you are looking for when it comes to the woman that you want to marry? Because this type of guy has no problems attracting women. That's not his issue. And without any hesitation, the first thing out of his mouth was, I want a woman who's feminine. I want a woman who's feminine. So I don't know. Do you want to jump in and
Yeah.
before
I
I
mean,
keep going?
definitely what he was just saying is he wants what most healthy provider energy men want. He wants a woman who's not only in her feminine, but just in her soft, relaxed energy all the time. It's like, and he went into detail talking about just wanting to be able to come home to a relaxed environment, someone who's happy to see him. It's no arguing, it's just fun being around each other. And those same qualities that we talk about all the time.
Mhm.
A lady that's in her feminine, that's fun to be around, and that allows him to just be himself. He doesn't want to be in his head. He doesn't want to talk about all what's happened during the course of the day, doesn't want to go back and forth, just in a relaxed environment where he can feel comfortable just being himself and taking the shoes off.
Yeah, and I I had to tell you guys this like fresh because we literally just talked to him a few hours ago, and I want to use his words. And a lot of it is the stuff that we do teach on this channel, and we teach our women in the Feminine Energy Academy. But how he was describing it was like, I don't want a woman that has a whole bunch of testosterone. I don't want to come home to testosterone.
Right.
He's like, he runs multiple businesses.
Yes.
Such a great guy. He's like my husband. Such a great guy. They're really good friends as well. And, he's busy managing teams, running businesses. And he's like, the last thing I want is to come home and just be at it with the girl.
Yes.
Right. And so he's like, if I could just have a woman that has healed from her past relationship trauma, this is the common thread. Okay. This is a common pattern that a lot of these guys do see. The women are beautiful. Attracting beautiful women is not the issue. Like, you're probably beautiful watching this. Good person, right? That's not the issue. But they're still playing in those old patterns, those old traumas, the masculine energy wounds, the daddy wounds, the past, the past guy that hurt you wound. And what happens is, you're dating a guy like this, and the trigger comes up, and the next thing you know, you guys are going back and forth. and it's an immediate turn off from the guy.
Yes.
And a guy like that will just move on.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so interesting because even I asked him, I said, okay,
Yeah.
are you looking for marriage? And if you found the woman that we
Mhm.
just spoke about, that you just gave us details on, would you be willing to settle down and get married to her? Or are you just enjoying being single?
Mhm.
And he
Yeah.
said, to be honest with you, it's fun being single because you get to meet people and, you get to meet them in their best place.
Yeah.
But it's not fun getting to know them all over because it's like they're taking off the covers. It's the same cycle of getting to know them. Everything's great. Then you find stuff out. But for him, he said if he could find a woman that met what he's looking for, he would
Mhm.
have no issue settling down and getting married. That's not even a question. He would do it in a heartbeat. But it's
Mhm.
more about finding that person, that woman who not only is ready, but is always already a wife.
Mhm.
And that was so
Yeah.
key as well. He was saying he doesn't have time to try to fix you, to
Mhm.
try to change you. If you're a wife already, then great. But if you're not a wife, he'll just move on.
Yeah.
It's not something that he wants to spend his time with.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I mean, these are the things that we hear from the guys all the time. These are the things that Coach B always talks about.
Yes.
Where bachelors, they don't necessarily want to stay bachelors.
Yeah.
Right? My husband was a bachelor his whole life as well. And the thing is, it's like once they find the woman that's already embodied,
Yes.
that's the key, ladies. She's embodied in that feminine energy. That's the difference.
Yes.
Because a lot of women, here's the thing, ladies, this is what we really want to break down for you. A lot of women know this out of head knowledge. A lot of women look feminine. Your hair's done, you're looking cute, you dress well, you look good. You have no problems attracting the men. Okay? Like, let's just be real here. You're successful. You're a good person. You're a good person. But what stops you, what turns the guys off is those triggers, those old patterns. It's learning how to communicate with the masculine. It's learning how to heal your attachment styles, heal your nervous system. Most women are walking around with a dysregulated nervous system. And men are too, 100%. It's not just like the men are perfect and the women have all the problems. But men, the masculine responds to our energy.
Yes.
They respond to our energy. So this is why you'll see a bachelor, be with a certain woman in one way, and then the next woman or another woman that he's also seeing who's in her wife energy, he's completely different with her.
Yes.
Okay. So exactly what Coach B said, and then this bachelor said today is they don't have time or the energy to try to change you. This is what he said. Especially provider type men, they don't have the energy to go back and forth with you. They don't want to do that. They're busy running businesses. They're busy working. They're busy, building things. They don't have the time or the energy to argue with you. Right. And so they don't want that. They want peace. And this is why you'll see a lot of times, the guy, the stereotypical, oh, he just goes after the waitress or, the secretary type things where, she's simple. She's simple. She's easy to be around. And the biggest thing too that he mentioned, and that, I really teach my girls about this, when it comes to polarity in dating and marriage, is she looks at him with eyes of admiration. She's his biggest cheerleader. A man, you should have seen him today. He was like melting, this bachelor, when he was describing his dream woman. He's like, when she just, believes in me, when things are, business is rough or this is going on. And like, you have that one woman in your corner and she believes in you. And you have that. He's like, it's done. A man will stay with her forever. Yeah.
And Dwayne agrees with even the points, right? He said that's a fact as well. And the thing I loved about the conversation as well is his really self-awareness, understanding that, he's not all the way whole and healed. It's still some areas he's working on. And even the fact of understanding that she may still be working on areas. The main thing that he was focused on is what are you doing to address these areas? Are you on your healing journey or are you just denying the fact that you need healing? And if you're on your healing journey, he even spoke about it. I know many men think about this as well. If you're on your healing journey and it's something that's workable, men don't have an issue, but it's when you don't acknowledge, don't recognize, you aren't moving to continue your healing journey, because we understand that it's an ongoing journey, that once you heal from something, then something else may show up, but it's the journey that you're on that those men appreciate. And it's got to get started somewhere, because if it's not, then it's hard really to believe that, okay, this person has a foundation and understanding when things get rough in our relationship, or when challenges come, that she'll be able to address them in a healthy way.
Yes. Is that Ramsha that said that?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yes, you have to see him with the eyes of God. And she knows that because she's one of my students. So this is what I teach the ladies, is you need to look at your husband. Okay. You need to, I mean, you should look at everybody in the sense of through the eyes of God, where we're not busy judging people, but especially for men, the thing that they need more than anything is that respect and that appreciation for the little things. And that's how you keep polarity, ladies. This is important in dating and in marriage. This is not just in dating. And then so some people are like, yeah, but he needs to be worth admiring. He needs to be worth respected. Well, then if you are not attracting men that are worth admiring or worth respecting, babe, then I encourage you to look at what's going on with you, because everyone around you is mirroring you. Okay. So if you are not attracting men that are, respectable, men that are worth admiring, then I encourage you to do some inner healing, because what will happen, I promise you this, babe, because this is what I help our ladies do. When you heal the masculine energy wound, the daddy wound, when you heal your nervous system and you can start to relax into your feminine, and you're not in competitive energy, and I'm going to break that down in a second because it's very subtle for women. What will happen is you will start to attract that provider type man. You'll attract that masculine type men. One of the subtle things that women do that they don't realize that really kills that polarity in dating and marriage, like ladies, lean in here. Okay. This is really important. And it's so subtle. And, the Bachelor was talking about this today. And that's when you're in your competitive energy with him. That's when you are so in your boss babe masculine energy, you feel like you have to compete with him from a place of proving yourself, right? And the root of that is that anxious attachment style. Is something I teach a lot on this channel in the Feminine Energy Academy, healing that, where it's subconscious. It's you've grown up learning how to, because of survival mode, you always had to prove yourself. You always had to go above and beyond, compete, for that respect. And you don't know how to turn it off when it comes to the man. It's okay to build a business. It's okay for a woman to be successful. It's okay to have the degrees. Your sister has a PhD and is just recently got remarried. It's okay to have those things, ladies. But it's when you don't have the awareness, and then you're taking it into your love life, you're taking it into the relationships and the guys you're dating and marrying, and it's almost like you're trying to prove your worth to the guy based on your accolades and that boss babe energy, and it's such a turnoff for the guys.
And it's so key as well, because all of these conversations we're having now, this is what we had with the Bachelor, this is what the other guys that we coach. This stuff is real and true, because what he said as well, talking about women that are smart, that are educated, is men don't mind you being smart, educated, being CEOs, running your own business, but don't bring that to me. Don't come to me with that energy. When take care of your business at work, but when you come home, understand when you come home, it's your time to relax. He wants to relax. It's more now about just the polarity within the relationship. You've been in your feminine, in your receiving, allowing him to do for you. Because just like he was talking about, and we always talk about, those provider energy men want to do, they want to lead, they want to show. But when you're leading with your education, you're leading with your degrees, you're leading with your business, that right there causes him to want to hang out with the fellas, maybe not want to come home, because he doesn't want that type of energy. So it's not that he's out doing other things with, cheating or anything like that. It's just that he wants to relax. And if he doesn't have it at home, a lot of men, what they do, and it's not necessarily healthy, but they find the place. It could be, just going to watch the game. It could be something to stay away and just allow their mind to relax because all day, 10, 12,
Mhm.
14 hours, they've been doing business, they've been meeting, they've been thinking about what the next move is. So coming home, that's not the what you want to lead with. Maybe you can put side time to the side. I mean, we run businesses together, so you have to have those times, but it can't be every day, all day when you see him.
Yeah, exactly. And this is something, ladies, I had to retrain my nervous system because I was so in my masculine energy, my boss babe energy, where just, because we were just raised that way, right?
Mhm.
Where our value came from our education, the business, our successes, right? So you're talking to people and you're just leading with
Yeah.
that, right? And then let me just show you how amazing I am. Let me show you my sales numbers and how my degrees and all my
Right.
successes. And the guy's completely turned off. Okay. So he doesn't want to be around that. He might appreciate that. Like,
Yeah.
my husband and I, we appreciate that about each other, but that's not why he's with me.
Right. Not at all.
And the interesting thing is, once I really learned this and, my husband and I started dating, I barely talked about what I did. It was so simple. And I just like shut up and was just listening and being impressed about what he does.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, ladies, you're not going to be able to do that until you heal your nervous system. You will not be able to do that as a woman until you heal your nervous system.
Yeah.
Because as a woman, when you're in that anxious mode, that I need to prove myself mode, because that's just what you've learned growing up, you're going to feel like you need to do that with everybody.
Yeah.
And if the guy's not really that interested in what you do or that you're the CEO, you're going to be triggered. You are going to be triggered. And then that's going to turn him off. You're going to be turned off. And it's just not going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a compliment from Solo. He said, "You look so expensive." That's definitely a
Perfect.
compliment. That's what we teach our ladies.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
We teach our ladies to make sure you look the part because
Mhm.
you're not going to attract what you desire unless you look the part. So
Yeah.
definitely better than looking cheap.
100%. Oh, thank you. Yes. And I mean, our energy is expensive.
Yes.
And ladies, here's the thing. If you're wondering like, oh, am I like that or am I not like that? What kind of energy am I in?
Yeah.
Just ask yourself, how do you feel?
Yes.
How do you feel most of the time? If you feel burnt out as a woman, if you feel like your life is chaotic, if you feel like you don't have enough time to do your hair, your makeup, take care of your body, you don't have enough time to sleep properly, all those things, right? Then your energy is, well, first of all, your nervous system is dysregulated. I know that for sure. Your hormones are dysregulated. You're not feeling good. You can't relax in your soft feminine energy, right? And so he's going to feel that. That's why you're maybe not attracting or keeping the healthy masculine energy man. Now, once again, you do not have to be perfect. Don't think, oh my gosh, like I'm hopeless, because I'm like grinding right now. You can still be grinding. Okay. You could still be a student. You could still be working. You could still be doing all these things. You could still be a single mom like I was, but you have to have that awareness, number one, and you need to heal it. Yeah. You need to heal it because once you can heal that, which is what I teach in the Feminine Energy Academy, how to embody that and re-regulate the nervous system, you can still use your energy to, build your business and all that stuff and, do well at work. Yeah. But then when you're in the presence of the masculine, you know how to settle down in your feminine.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And it does take a skill for sure.
Yes. And the great thing about it is everyone likes something different. All guys like something different. So where you're at or what you desire, it's a man there waiting for you. But they just want you to be at your best as far as giving effort in every area. That's what attracts the man, not necessarily the same look or a Barbie doll or anything like that. No, it's you being at your best. So we did have a question from Maria K. She says, I find overly controlling men being bad providers. Second date combo, I had cooking skills are important to me. So that was a trigger warning. Okay. The cooking skills are important to me. Then going to a restaurant with a chef who has culinary degree sounds good. So I'm not sure exactly what it is, but we can speak on that first point where she spoke about overly controlling men being bad providers.
Okay. So here's the thing, ladies. If you are struggling with, oh, men are controlling, that's a masculine energy wound that I really encourage you to heal. Because what you look for, you find. And so if that's coming from a wound, okay? So there's probably something that you experience, a past relationship trauma, daddy wound or something like that where, you've been through something like that, but you're still holding on to the energy of that in your energy field, in your nervous system. You don't feel safe. And the reason why this is so important you heal that, babe, is because you are going to be looking for that and you're going to find it. So I really, really encourage you to heal that, because most men are not controlling, actually. Right? There are some men that are toxic, but they're not that many. Right? And so when you're healed and secure in your nervous system as a woman, you're not even going to come across those guys. Or if you do happen to come across it, you're not even going to notice it. You're going to move on. He's not even going to be able to have a chance to be in your presence. And then here's another thing, ladies, to really check yourself on what triggers you as a woman. If a man talks to you about cooking, does that trigger you? Does that trigger you, right? You know what's so interesting, ladies? My husband and I never once talked about cooking or cleaning.
I don't think we had a conversation
Not
about
once.
it. And the reason why
Not
I
once.
didn't have a
Yeah.
conversation about it with you is because I was already cooking and cleaning.
Yeah,
So
we both were.
yeah, so coming into the
Yeah.
relationship, that's not something that I have to worry about. Will this get done?
Yeah.
No, we'll figure it out. And it wasn't even a conversation, but
Yeah.
if something's down, just the way we were raised, just the
Yeah.
way we have lived our life, if something's on the ground and needs to be picked up, or if the room needs to be cleaned, we're going to figure it out. Both of
Yeah.
us previously
Yeah.
have hired people to clean our
Yeah.
houses.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
right.
We're
So
outsourcers.
yeah. So figuring that out wasn't an issue at all because I knew we would get it done. But those things, the level of importance
Yeah.
in our life was really low. As long as we got it done was all that mattered to us.
And so this is why it's really important, ladies, that you do your energy work first. This is what I teach the ladies, where you energetically call in the type of man that you want.
Yeah.
That is so important. Otherwise, you are spinning your wheels,
Yes.
wasting your time dating. I promise that. That's why you're like attracting all these random guys or stuck in situationships where the guy's not stepping up, is they're mirroring your energy. So take time. If you don't like what you're attracting, just take time and work through your energy of who you're calling in. And then also learn practical dating skills, right? There's no shame, right? We weren't taught how to date, especially in this day and age. This is why we teach you girls this, and then of course in the Feminine Energy Academy, I have a whole dating program where I teach you how to date so you can have polarity from day one, where the men want to date you and marry you from day one. And this is, I mean, this didn't just happen to me. This happens to our ladies like clockwork in the Feminine Energy Academy. Okay.
Yes.
But if you don't have strategies, ladies, when it comes to knowing how to date, and if you don't heal your masculine wound, you're going to be wasting your time. It's going to be exhausting dating. Yeah.
And this comes from, I believe it's Angie Laree. She says, "What if they as being men, what if they don't acknowledge your day but vent about their work all day and bypass your messages?" So what I'm guessing she's saying is, first off, this sounds like a texting conversation because they're bypassing your messages. So if a guy's coming and talking about his day, venting, if that's something that's normal, then that's something. If you're married to that guy, then you want to pray for him. You want to make sure, not pray for him like stop him in the middle of talking and saying let me pray for you, but you want to make sure you're praying that not only that he's enjoying what he's doing, but he's in the right field, that he's around the right people. Because if it's consistent, then it's something deeper there. But if you're just dating or talking to the guy and he's venting all the time, he's not leaving any space for you. Go back to what we always tell our ladies: rotationally date. This may not be your husband. Just because you've had sex with him, just because you're attracted to him, just because you talk all the time, doesn't mean you have to make this work. If there's no commitment and you're already feeling a certain way, and we understand that part of it is what you're attracting.
Yeah.
This is what you're attracting, so you have some work potentially to do as well, some healing. But don't feel like you have to stay in this situation. Understand, if this is what's going on now, separate yourself, do your healing so you can attract the right type of man, because that won't change because you're upset or because, now you're letting him know you want to talk. So he's going to let you talk. No, it's some things within that situation, that relationship that need healing. And it's not something you can make happen. It's something you may have to separate yourself from.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly what Coach B is saying. If you're married, it's a completely different context than if it's a random guy.
Yeah.
Completely different context. But if you are married, it's so important for the woman and for both of you, but for the woman especially, because the woman is really about the relationship, to be able to have capacity for him as well, because there's going to hold space for him, because there's going to be some times where he needs to just vent. He needs to, you're his safe place. Remember, men are going throughout the day, they're in that sperm mode, right? They're in that hunting mode. They're in the competitive, guard up, all their energies in their head. They're putting out fires, they're analyzing, they're doing all these things all day long. So when they come to you, they want to relax. They want to be able, that's where they can put their guard down. You're their soft energy, right? That's really important. Now, I know a lot of women are like, but I do the same thing. I do that too. Yeah, but that's not really your role. Like, we're not supposed to be in our masculine energy as a woman, right? So what I encourage my ladies to do, if you, like, for example, if you're in a role where you're always in your head as a woman, then I give you actual tools to get out of your head and process your emotions before you see the guy, because he doesn't really have the same capacity. He does have the capacity, of course, to soundboard and stuff with you, but it's just different for men, right? And so for women, we like to process with a lot of words. There's a lot of things that we need to process that, sometimes it's okay to do with your husband, but other times you don't need to process every thought that goes through your head, with the man. I encourage my ladies to do things like scripting, and nervous system re-regulating, just other things to release your emotion so that your energy can stay soft and warm and fresh in the presence of the masculine.
And Neeks Be More, Neeks Be More Life said, my question is that a black man treated me like I was going to be his future wife. Then he ghosted me behind the keyboard and I never did nothing. What should I do? I'm a PK. You know what that is, a preacher's kid.
Yeah. Do you want to go or you want me to go?
Well, I'll go and you can bring it home. I'll just
Okay.
tell her straight up
Yeah.
and you can kind of go deeper into it on the feminine energy side. But it doesn't matter if it's a black man, a white man,
Yeah.
what
you're
his
men.
it's what his nationality is. The fact is, I don't know how the relationship started, but it seems like it may have started off real hot and heavy, and he was telling you everything you wanted to hear. Maybe he was feeling a certain way. Then something happened, and what that something usually is the sexual relationship start. Then, and I'm not saying this is what happened in this situation. I'm just telling, kind of going through what happens, how men are hot and cold. But whatever happened leading up to it, if he ghosted you through text messaging or whatever the case is, if you're not married to him, if you're not engaged in a committed relationship that's leading to marriage, and if you don't have a ring on your finger, then it's nothing official. You shouldn't be attached to him. You don't owe him anything. He doesn't owe you anything too, which is most important as well. Understanding that he's single, you're single, and him ghosting you and not responding could be just some healing that he needs. Now, if you've done everything that you need to do and it was just a one-off situation, then you have to move on. And that's why we talk so much about our rotational dating, because what it protects you from is getting attached to guys that you're dating. It protects you from falling in love with someone who hasn't fallen in love with you. Because what happens so often is, ladies, when men start showing signs of being providers, start showing signs of, okay, I want to be with you. And sometimes they can just say it. Men can just say it. And if you're not in a healed place as a woman, you may go all in on a relationship that doesn't exist. So when he ghosts you, you're trying to figure out what happened. But definitely, we in the Feminine Energy Academy, we talk to ladies that deal with this or used to deal with this, and we help them walk through it. But really, rotationally dating and making sure you stay detached from guys that you're just getting to know is the key in this situation. It protects your emotions, it protects your heart, and it protects you from needing healing over and over from the cycle of things that potentially men can do and people do in relationships.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, babe. You're gonna waste your time, ladies. Like, I don't know how else to explain this to you, but you are going to waste your time when you don't know how to date properly. You're going to keep attracting men that ghost you, that are breadcrumbing you. You'll end up in situationships, and all you're doing is playing in old childhood trauma patterns. That's it. That's what your nervous system is doing, because that's what it's used to, right? You're picking men based on chemistry and the physical attraction versus the things that we teach. And then you're attracting avoidant type men. You're attracting, you're trauma bonding and staying in these situations with guys, and it's going to waste your time. Right? So the sooner you get healing, the sooner you heal your nervous system, the sooner you heal your feminine energy, and then you have practical dating strategy, like learning to how to actually communicate with the masculine in dating and marriage. That's how you jump to the head of the line and you get engaged and married to a provider type man. And you have options. If you do everything we teach you in the Feminine Energy Academy, you will have options. This is what happens with our ladies when they stick to the process. Even if you're a single mom, even if you've been divorced, we've been doing this for so long now, and that's just it.
Yes. And we have Ramsha, who's one of our longtime Feminine Energy Academy, even pre-Feminine Energy Academy people. She says, and it sounds like it's responding to someone who said something, but she says, "Why is cooking for your husband bad? I feel like it's an act of love, at least in my culture."
Exactly. And that's why it's so important, ladies, that you become aware of what you're triggered to. What are you triggered about? Right? Because if you, it's not about cooking for your husband. It's not about that at all. There's a trauma there, right? There's a story that's playing out, and that's what's going to literally block your husband from finding you. Yeah.
And Sua said, "This is really interesting. I haven't been on a live with you before. You seem like you really care about seeing people happy."
100%. And we got receipts. We had a marriage just a couple of weeks ago. We had an engagement last month. We have another marriage happening this month. So our ladies are getting amazing results. So yeah, this is something we are super passionate about, because we want to shift the culture, especially for our community, where that situationship is not the norm anymore. A lot of our people, I mean, this is just this generation, right? Don't have the tools to date properly. They don't know how to date on dating apps. They don't know how to communicate with each other properly. Most people are walking around with trauma wounds from, past relationships, and daddy wounds and abandonment wounds. And, they're still playing in old patterns. And then, they're frustrated. And I was a former single mom. So my heart is for the women, of course. And, once you learn the things that we teach you, dating becomes fun. Dating becomes easy, and marriage is easy. Like this is our 1-year anniversary, and we've had the most amazing year.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I want to go to Mindy Lopper, 7955.
Hey, Alicia.
She said, "How do you get over the guilt, shame, and regret of a divorce?"
This is huge, 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 huge. This is really important for my ladies that have been divorced or coming out of a situationship or just a really bad breakup. It's really important that you heal that guilt and the shame that comes with that, because that is the number one thing, ladies, that will dysregulate your nervous system. Meaning your nervous system will stay in that triggered, like hyper triggered fight, flight, freeze mode. Okay. And like what you'll continue on with your life, and you'll keep having trauma responses like procrastination, avoidance, anxiousness, situationships, attracting the wrong types of guys, all because you're still carrying around this guilt and this shame in your nervous system. So when you're asking, how do you heal it? Well, number one thing is forgiveness. Actually forgiving yourself, allowing yourself to receive forgiveness, but then also learning tools on how to re-regulate your nervous system, so your nervous system can feel soft and secure and calm again. You have to really believe that you are worthy to fall back in love. You are worthy to get married again. You are worthy to, be in a safe, secure relationship. And if you're carrying around guilt and shame, what you'll do is you'll self-sabotage that, because deep down at a subconscious level where the nervous system is, it will keep playing out these old patterns because you haven't fully healed that and allowed yourself to, like, really given yourself permission to be in that safe, secure relationship. Yeah.
Yes, so good. Such a good question as
Really good
well.
question.
And we have
Yeah.
Angela Reese. She says, "This is the ministry I need right now."
Yes, my love. Yes. This is our ministry. This is
Yes.
what we love to do is pour into the women, help heal their hormones, heal their nervous system so they can actually be in their soft feminine energy and give them actual tools that actually work when it comes to dating and marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we had another someone from Alberta actually,
Oh, what?
Heather. Heather Black says, "You are well." She said something else earlier. I am new. Bless you both. My ears are perked. Thank you each.
Wow.
Love from Alberta, Canada. So
Wow. That's
yes,
amazing.
yes, definitely. Let's see what other questions we have. Yeah, and Ramsha said I put the wrong link on there. So Ramsha, if you can help me out and put the correct FEA link on, that would be great. I'm multitasking, so
He's
forgive
moderating
me.
tonight.
Yes,
Our
I'm
kids are out swimming
yes.
and our assistant is sleeping
So
because
if
it's
you could
late.
help, I'll pin the link if you can add it for me, Ramsha. I definitely apologize for that.
You're doing great, honey. This
Yes.
is great. The biggest thing I want you ladies to catch if you're new here is it's all about polarity.
Mm.
It's all about polarity. If you want to have and really attract that masculine energy type man in dating and in marriage, right?
Mm.
Like you need to prepare yourself for marriage, like what we're talking about, where you're already embodied in wife energy, then it's the number one thing that the men crave is that feminine energy.
Mm.
Okay, so if you are noticing, here's some signs that you're dysregulated and throwing that polarity off, ladies. Okay. So you're very much in your masculine chasing mode, doing mode. A lot of times that causes hormone issues, right? Because you're just in doing, chasing, hustling mode all the time. You're constantly
Mm.
overthinking, overanalyzing, obsessing about the guy. You feel like you need to over explain yourself. You feel like, he just doesn't understand.
Mhm.
And so you're messaging him and texting him and calling him. You're triggered. You're
Yeah.
walking around triggered all the time. And you're kind of like in that combative mode with him.
Mm.
Or you're even in that nice girl energy where your boundaries are being broken, you're people pleasing, you're over giving, right? And this affects not only your energy, but affects how you look and feel as a
Yeah.
woman. Okay.
Yeah, and
So
we've gotten so much over the last few lives from guys who
yeah.
have really been jumping on.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Joa says, I have a question. What if your girl has trust issues? It's a toxic relationship,
Mm,
but you've been together for 8 years. You've been in it 8 years with her, been loyal to her, and have kids with your partner. So, what I'll say
mm,
about that is,
yeah.
when you've been with someone as long as you have, definitely different challenges can come up. But my question to you is, why 8 years and you've started a family? So what's the issue with either getting married or
Mm-hmm.
moving on? Because if you continue to
Mm-hmm.
have kids, start a family, then in her eyes, it's not as bad as you're saying it is because you're doing
Mm-hmm.
everything. You're right now you're probably legally married according to law if
Mm-hmm.
you've been with someone and potentially living with someone for at least 7 years. So less about her, more about exactly why you're with each other for so long, why you decided to be with her so long. Have you asked her to marry you? She said
Yep.
no. Exactly what's happening. Because what I do know, and this is not for you or not to say anything bad about you, but in most cases 3 to 6 months
Mm-hmm.
guys are ready to make that commitment to move forward if this is the one. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if it's just been toxic throughout,
Mm-hmm.
then it may be some healing that needs to be had on your end if you're okay with being in a toxic relationship and if you're not able to move on for whatever reason. But I would really say look internally to see why you've stayed with someone for 8 years without asking them to marry you.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a family with them and you're still with them when things don't seem to be going anywhere forward based on what you're saying.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no shame or judgment here. A lot of us have come from households where
Mm.
that's normal, right? And I mean, these are a lot of people that we coach
Yeah.
too, where there wasn't really that healthy example of the dad or the mom, and then you're just playing in those same patterns. So what I invite you to do is really ask yourself, how do you want to raise your kids? Because you are programming your kids right now. This is what kept me accountable as a single mom, is my kids are watching how mom dates for marriage, right? Like the man that I choose is going to directly affect their relationship with masculine energy growing up, both the boys and our daughter, right? So I'm going to talk to the moms for a second, the ladies for a second, is this is why it's so important that you are mindful when you are dating, that you're not careless when it comes to dating. And same with the guys, right? Like you're not just careless when it comes to dating and being in relationships with people, because you're just passing on that toxicity, right? And it's like we're the generation where we have the luxury of healing. Our parents didn't have the tools that we have now, right? So there's not really an excuse for us. And I'm saying this with so much love because I really believe you're meant to hear this. And invite God into the picture. When you invite God, like, you know what, things are really messy right now. I need your help. I need some wisdom. Help me out. You'll be surprised at what happens. The right people will show up, the right tools will show up, the right programs will show up to help you, so you can change the story for not only you but for your kids.
Yeah, definitely. And Neeks Be More Life says, I'm all, and if you could speak to this, that'd be great. I'm already in marriage energy. I'm like the Proverbs 31 woman.
Okay, there we go. There we go. I mean, and that's amazing. And so my question for you now, ladies, especially my spiritual ladies, you're ready, you're a biblical wife, you're Proverbs 31 wife. Okay, are you putting yourself in front of these types of men? Because sometimes, and I'm not saying this is you at all, but sometimes women spiritually bypass a lot of things and they actually use it to avoid. So they're just like, I'm just waiting on God. I'm just going to wait on God for my husband. I'm like, okay, but no, as a woman, and this is actually scriptural, where you need to put yourself in front of these types of men. Ruth had to reposition herself and put herself in front of Boaz. Queen Esther had to put herself in front of the king, right? So it's really important for us women that not only, yes, you do your energy work, you do your inner healing, but then you also have strategy, right? Because I don't know about you, but for me, I was like, oh my gosh, it's been 5 years and I'm still single. And my daughter was getting older because she lost her dad when she was 3 and she was now 8. And I was like, oh my goodness, okay, I want my kids to have a dad. This is really important to me. So that's when I really started taking things seriously. And I was like, that's it, I'm getting married. And I made that decision. I did everything I needed to do, what I teach my ladies, and attracted the most amazing, I call my earth angel, the most amazing husband and bonus dad to our kids.
Yes. And Joa, who asked that question about being in the 8-year relationship, said, thank you both. Bless you all and family.
Yes, we're rooting for you.
Yes, definitely. So we have a question from Bell, whatever it is, from Bell. Bell, you know who you are. How do you maintain your femininity when you're always in the driver's seat, quote unquote, and having to take the lead on things because the people closest to you are so passive?
Yes, I love this question. So this is very common for a lot of people, for a lot of women, where you just grew up being the person that just takes control of the situation, right? All my oldest siblings, all the oldest children, if that's you, where you just learned, you trained your nervous system in order to feel safe. You had to be the one in control. And then it seems like everyone else around you is just super passive. And then you attract men that are passive. So how you deal with that is you lean all the way back, all the way back. Now, if there's some things that you have, certain responsibilities for, you can't neglect, like your children, for example, if you have kids, yes, okay, take care of business. You got work obligations, okay, do that. But when it comes to dating and men or taking care of other people around you, you actually have to let go of control. And so I talk about this a lot, where that's a major sign of just the anxious attachment pattern, where the nervous system is so dysregulated, it feels safe and all it knows is to abandon yourself to take care of everybody else. And you think that you're doing that because you're such a great person, but it causes everyone else to lean back, and it causes you to burn out. It causes you to be in your masculine, chasing, doing energy, and you will never, ever attract a masculine energy man that way. You will always attract men that are passive. Now, if you're married and you're in this situation, I also invite you to be in our program to help heal this. But in order to have that polarity back, you got to retrain your nervous system to lean back. And if you don't feel safe and secure in your nervous system, you're going to struggle with letting go and detaching. You're going to feel anxious because that's all you've known is to be the person in the driver's seat. Yeah.
And the thing that I've realized as well, even throughout my life,
Yeah.
is wherever I go, I'm there. So the energy around you is feeding off who you are. So if you're someone who always seems to attract a certain type of person, if you're always someone, every time you come in the environment, people start getting tight and people start getting quiet. It's your energy. And it's not your fault that they're doing it in a sense, but your energy can have others around you not wanting to be around you, not wanting to challenge you because they just don't want to go in that direction. So again, if it's something that's potentially connected with control, like you're speaking of, then it's something you have to look at and saying, how am I presenting? What is my demeanor? What am I saying? Because all of these things that are programmed in us from childhood. So it's not like you can just turn it off. Okay, I'll just be a different person. No, these are the areas that you really want to focus in your healing. And trust me, even those things can change once you make a decision that, okay, this isn't who I want to be. I don't want to be a person where every time I come in, people get tight or people don't feel like they can be themselves. The changes you make is really by looking inside and getting the healing needed. And a lot of that we do within the Feminine Energy Academy.
Yeah, exactly. Because everyone around you is mirroring your energy. They're all mirroring your energy. So you can have one man that will be super masculine, provider, protector, take control, take charge type man with one woman, with a woman that's really embodied in her soft feminine. And then with you, or a woman that's in your chasing energy, your masculine energy, he will completely lean back. He'll completely lean back. And it's very subconscious. Right? So that's why we always tell the women, don't worry about the guys. You got to heal you. You got to heal this in you. And what will naturally happen, I promise you, babe, we see this all the time with the women we coach, all the time in dating and marriage, where this is how you activate his masculine energy, is by you leaning back into your feminine energy. That polarity is what's going to build that attraction and really activate that masculinity in him, where he just wants to take care of you and spoil you and marry you, and you get to relax and have princess treatment.
And I love this statement right here. And definitely this is something you can go in and kind of give explanation or talk about.
Yeah.
She says, I'm a professional fitness trainer and I'm always around single Christian men.
Yeah.
And they always ask me, why am I single? I
Mhm.
say, because the people are sometimes weird because I'm a preacher's kid.
Okay, well, the reason why you're single is because you're telling yourself that story. So there's some healing, and PKs, preachers' kids, do need a lot of healing. Like straight up, I will attest to that. A lot of people in the church need healing because of just those religious wounds, right? Like, let's just be real, right? And this is not just you, babe. This is all of us coming from all different types of backgrounds, but there's stories playing in your head, like there's something wrong with you, there's something off with you, there's something different about you, and that's what's making you unattractive. So that's the area that needs healing for sure. Because and it's kind of like my ladies that are single moms, they think, oh, no one's going to want to be with me because I'm a single mom. And that's one of the biggest things that I have to help them get past and change and shift, is that, no, of course there's men that want to be with you, right? Because there's different men that want different things. But until you accept you and you love you and you think you're the best thing for a wife, no man is going to want that, right? Like, you have to want you first, and then the men will mirror that back to you. And oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, what I believe as well as when you're saying this and having these conversations with men that are asking you, why are you single? They'll laugh with you when you say it, but in their mind, they're looking at you like, well, she's probably not someone I can get to know, because her perspective on who men are. Because not only are you saying that people are weird, but men may take it as, well, you're looking at all men as weird or all men as having something wrong with them. I don't want to go down that street. I don't want to deal with that. So instead of even trying to pursue and get to know you, they may laugh, or they may try to go on a date with you, but it's hard for them to
Yeah.
really want to get to know you on a deeper level because of your perspective on men and how you see men, and the fact that you're not even giving relationships a chance because, as you said, and this isn't anything against you,
Yeah.
but this is what men are hearing. They
Yeah.
heard you say that men are weird, people are weird, so they'll just stay away from that situation.
Exactly. And a lot of people in the fitness industry, a lot of women, I'm just being really honest right now, because I used to be not in that industry, but I used to be a gym rat where I was like always in the gym. A lot of those women are very much in their masculine energy. So I still love to work
Yeah.
out and stuff like that, but I'm in a very different place now than I was before. But a lot, that's why you'll see, because I started asking myself this, how come all these women with like literally perfect bodies are all single?
Mm.
Beautiful women, right? And they're all single. And then that's when I really started, this was a few years ago. That's when I really started learning about the masculine feminine energy thing. I'm like, oh, just because you look perfect, but you're embodied in masculine energy, men aren't going to want to be with you, right?
Yeah,
So,
definitely. So we got some love coming from Ghana.
ooh, what's up?
Kwame, what's going on, Kwame from Ghana? So yeah, I'm just going through these other questions we have, but definitely this Saturday, this upcoming
Yes.
Saturday, what's our masterclass?
Yes. So we have coaching masterclasses every Saturday. These are private masterclasses where we go deep coaching our ladies. Last Saturday, oh, it was so fire. We did a 3-hour masterclass where I went deep with the ladies, helping you identify your attachment style patterns that are showing up in dating and marriage. And I gave you a game plan on exactly how to re regulate your nervous system and heal that attachment pattern for good. The women said it was completely life changing. You can go and watch the replay if you weren't there. You get access to all of our masterclass replays in the Feminine Energy Academy. And this Saturday, we have a training coming out where I'm teaching about how you can actually identify your attachment style when it comes to money. When it comes to money and receiving, because interesting, ladies and gents too, but I mean, I coach the ladies, where relationship with money is also relationship. So if you have toxic patterns when it comes to money and receiving money, then that's something that I encourage you to heal. That's something that I also help my women heal, where you can shift out of that hustling, grinding, masculine energy mode where you're chasing money, where you're hustling for money, where you think you got to work harder, where you think money is hard to come by, right? If you're playing in those patterns, then we got to heal those patterns. And what I help my ladies to do is to shift into their feminine receiving energy when it comes to money, so you can attract the money, you can attract the clients, you can attract the social media followers, you can attract the just the cash flow, the higher cash flow months, continuously making money 24/7 like we do, right? Passively, no matter whether you're doing stuff or you're not doing stuff, money for us is coming in from multiple income streams 24/7.
Yes.
I've been that way since 2015, even before he came into the picture. So this is stuff that I also teach the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. So we'll be going through that as well on Saturday.
Yes. And I'm
Yes.
just getting this link together. I know earlier I sent the wrong link out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so I want to make sure I get the right one. But De La Sean said, wow, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, do you have any other questions? Otherwise, we are going to wrap it up. But yeah, this was really good.
Yes.
Okay, biggest thing that I want you guys to take away from today, okay? The number one thing that masculine energy wants and craves from you is what? Put in the comments.
Yes.
Put in the comments. What is it, you guys?
Let us know that you've been listening.
I'll sit and wait.
Yes. We'll be patient with it.
Yeah. What's the number one thing?
And you said, I wish I found y'all sooner. Pray for me, y'all. And even with the Feminine Energy Academy, I know we've been talking a lot about it.
Yes.
And I added the link there right now. We have a free 7-day trial. So you can come in there, ask us any
Yes.
questions. You can binge watch.
Yeah.
You have all access for those 7 days. No commitment needed.
Yeah.
Check it out. See if it's something that you want to go deeper. Because
Yeah.
like we always talk about, this channel is to bring awareness
Yeah.
to areas in your life that you may need healing, may need to make adjustments in, but we go so much deeper in the academy to help you get the tools that you need to get healing or to get exactly what you're desiring.
Exactly. And Alicia, of course, our girls got it from the Feminine Energy Academy. Polarity,
Yes.
polarity, right? So if you want that masculine provider man, ladies, then you need to be the polar opposite, which is that
Yes.
soft feminine energy. And you're not going to be able to be in your soft feminine magnetic energy until you heal, re-regulate that nervous system, ladies. Heal those, those patterns, those old trauma, those old trauma stories from past relationships. Until you heal that, you're going to keep playing in the same patterns.
Yes.
Okay, we love you girls so much. Have an amazing day, and we'll talk to you later.